Welcome back to the channel, you guys. My name is Jack, this is Gas Diesel Garage, and in today's episode, well, we got some maintenance stuff to do on a Kia Soul. See if it's got any soul. Anyways, stay tuned. Now what we got on the docket for today is a 2016 Kia Soul. I already got it up on jack stands. Be safe, y'all, put it on jack stands. I know I got destroyed in the comments one time when I had this thing jacked up with just the jack, but it's okay. Anyways, let's just get on with the video. Anyways, so what we got front pads, rear pads. Let's go ahead and get these wheels taken off. Quick disclaimer, we're only doing the pads. We're not replacing rotors because the rotors actually look in decent shape. And they're not shaking or vibrating when she hits the brakes, or he hits the brakes. Anyways, in order to take these pads off, one thing I like to do so I don't have to use that tool is stick my screwdriver right in here and push the pad inward, or push the caliper inward, so we can push back the piston, because when we put the new pads on, they're going to have a lot more meat on them, and obviously we're going to need room to put them on the mount and put the caliper on. So just do yourself a favor, make it easy, put a screwdriver right in there and just push inward. It doesn't matter if you break or mess the pads up, because the pads are already messed up. Next thing we do, grab our 14mm and take these two caliper bolts out right there. There we go. And just hang it up there so you don't stretch the hose, because if you stretch the hose, you'll rip the hose and you'll have some other problems. Well, there's the pads. They don't even look that bad, but we're gonna do them anyways, just for you guys around the world. There we go. Now remember what I was talking about the piston? The caliper piston needs to sit in flush so we can install the pads, because we're not going to have that much space if this piston was out, so we had to push it out. That's why we use the screwdriver method. Now there is a tool that you can put in here with it off that actually you can screw and then it separates it, basically pushes it in. So I just made it a lot easier. But the next thing we're going to do is we're going to clean all this daggone brake dust off, because this is what caused your brakes to squeak. I promise you that. So if a dealer or mechanic tells you that just because your brakes squeak they need to be replaced, they're full of crap. So we're just going to clean this stuff on up. Okay. Continuing on with the brake dust clean, you see these right here? This is what the brake pads slide on. And when they get all nastied up, it causes friction that makes it sound like screeching. It's like a banshee. But anyways, all we got to do is clean this stuff up. Wire brush it. Get it all clean. Now, the new brake pads do come with these things, but a lot of these aftermarket clips, or slides rather, they don't stay on the bracket like they're supposed to. So what I like to do is just use the old ones if they're not damaged. But it's up to you if you want to use them or not. Like I said, I warned you. Next thing, if you want to get rid of your brake squeak, you got to do the caliper slides. That's actually pretty dry. There should be grease on that. Ooh. Anyways, should be grease on that. If you drop it on the ground, make sure you wipe it off. You don't want leaves and dirt in it. That'd be really stupid. So, clean that on off. Set that aside. Pull the other one out. That's pretty dry too. And this is what most mechanics will not do. And it makes all the difference between having a comeback and a customer pissed off. We go ahead and grab us some grease. There is dedicated brake grease, but any grease is really going to do. See all that red grease we're just going to put on there? It's like lubing something else. But anyways, yeah. Then we slide it back on out. Because look, we should be able to do this, just like this. See how that moves? The caliper is going to keep moving like this. That's what you want to do. So, all right. We're continuing on. Move up to this one, the second pin. Make sure you slide it on in. Boom, just like that. Now, next thing we're going to do, we're going to put a little bit of grease on these slides, just like this. Don't worry about it getting on the rotor. I'm going to wipe it off, believe me. We're ready. Go. Next thing is putting the pads in, but make sure you're putting the right pads on the right side. And the easiest way to figure out if you're going to put the ones on the right side that it's supposed to be is find the one that's got the piston embossed in it, pretty much. That's what the piston pushes on. See that big old circle? Now if you had a double piston caliper, you see two circles. I know this is kind of, you know, silly, but yes, because you're gonna want that brake indicator, because when the pad goes low or wears out, that starts digging into your rotor. That's when you're gonna hear all that really bad screeching noise. So make sure you grab a brake pad that corresponds, just like this. See? Should be okay. And the other one really doesn't matter because it doesn't have the scraping indicator. So next we're gonna lube the back of these also very liberally. Not liberal like the new age kids right now. Liberals. Anyways, and you slide it on in. There we go, just like that. And we grab the other one, move the backs a little bit. Anything that's metal to metal, man, you really want to grease, because metal to metal causes noise. And finally, if you want to give you more validation, put some grease on the caliper, just like that. And here's something I've seen people do many times. Final thing on the pads, a lot of cars don't have these, but Kias do. Kias and Hondas and a lot of imports have these, but these little clips that sit right in here like that. I don't know, I guess it holds it out just in case when you're not applying the brakes. I guess it kind of holds it out so it doesn't rub on the rotor, which is kind of silly, but whatever. If they come with new ones, just go ahead and put them on. There's tiny little holes here to where you can put the clips on. You can zoom into that. Yeah. So these little holes. Okay. All right. Last and final thing on putting pads on a car. Get your caliper. Make sure this hose is not twisted. I've seen many people do that where they keep moving this around and all of a sudden they put the thing on and now it's twisted. That's a good way to blow a hose, believe me. So make sure there's no obstruction. Put a little grease in there too if you desire, and just slide this thing in. Just throw the bolts back in. On kiasouls, these bolts are 14 millimeters. Now all we got to do is 3 more sets of brakes. All right.
supposed to feel.